Hey ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel. As always, it is Nick here, back with your daily crypto news and analysis, and today we're going to be talking about Hedera and HBAR, so sit back, relax, and before we fully jump on into this video, I do just want to ask guys, could please leave a like on this video. It does help the channel grow immensely, and of course, I always do greatly appreciate it. Now, with that being said, let's just dive in and let's talk about a few things. So, first off, we are seeing diminished returns in the altcoin market. As you guys do see, the moves are not as, incredible compared to the last couple days. Of course, like audio is, moving up fairly nice, but for the most part, we are seeing altcoins kind of slowing down a little bit as Bitcoin does take the wheel. I focused on this in my video earlier today, but we are seeing, HBAR kind of dropping down in value. I know that a lot of people will probably look at this as a bearish thing, but this is actually not too bad, realistically speaking, and we're going to actually talk about it. So let's move on and let's talk about this real quick, and let's address the price chart. So on the weekly view, we are still very well trading below resistance, above support, kind of coiling up still, similar to that structure that we've seen back here in August. I'm not saying that we are going to repeat this exact same move just yet, but it looks like it's coiled up, right? Now, again, this is not guaranteed to break to the upside. We could have a breakdown here, and we could test those lows one last time to have a triple bottom to test about like roughly the 18.5 cent zone. Am I expecting that? No, I am not. We would have to see Bitcoin have a rejection. I don't think that Bitcoin's rejecting anytime soon. I think that ultimately we are about to break out of resistance, and I addressed this in my video earlier today. But this does look coiled up. It looks like we are trading in a similar structure to this time frame back here. I would say that it's actually a very similar structure to what we've seen during this time during August to build up to that momentum. But ultimately, watch the Bitcoin price charts for these. So the Bitcoin price chart right now for HBAR is a little bearish from what a lot of individuals would say. But I actually see that this is trading on support. Again, wicks could happen all the way down to this bottom fib. But on the macro view, this still looks very, bullish. It's just kind of waiting for that downward trend, sideways momentum to break out to the upside, similar to what we did during August, as you guys do see there. That is basically what we are waiting for. Now, again, fib levels are on the charts. We are waiting to see these levels being tested. Of course, this is that 750 sat level. I'm waiting for that one to really kind of get broken out of, because that's where we really want to start watching the USD chart. Now, of course, this is not going to happen overnight. It's not going to happen, tomorrow or anything like that. This is on the weekly view. So, again, just be aware of that. But I will say this, even on the daily, I know that this still looks fairly bearish for a lot of individuals, but you guys do see the clear bounce off, of course, that 50-day EMA target. Still trading below that overall 200-day EMA. That is the target right now. 26 cents is the target for, HBAR to break out of. And then we target that 236 at around that 28-cent zone. But ultimately, price action is not too bad at all. But today, I want to talk to you guys about some exciting things happening within the Hedera ecosystem. So first off, I do want to address this. So UK's finance minister predicts widespread adoption of stablecoins in the near future. Now, as we are talking about stablecoins, so let's actually go to the stablecoin market real quick and let's address this. So ultimately, we have been seeing a lot of talks around stablecoins and adoption of the stablecoin market itself. We are almost at a $200 billion market valuation for this entire market of stablecoins. Stablecoins are far too big to ignore now. I honestly think that when we are talking about things that are happening rapidly within the stablecoin and DeFi space, it is really kind of focused on, of course, adoption of, not only digital finance, but, stablecoin issuance as well. And this, I think, is something to really kind of, talk about, because when we are talking about this, right, so this is all talking about, building on existing frameworks, with the focus on backing reserves. It's been all focused on backing reserves, similar to even USDT or Tether. We know that Tether has a lot of, sort of bad sort of air around it. But we do see here, the UK plans on being a leader in stablecoin regulation. A new report says legislation will be introduced in Parliament when possible, the Finance Ministry said. Now, again, They are prioritizing regulating stablecoins that are going to be used as a means of payment. This response document confirms the government's intention to take the necessary legislative steps to bring activities that issue or facilitate the use of stablecoins used as a means of payment into the UK regulatory parameter, primarily by amending existing electronic money and payments legislation. So, again, I want you guys to understand that this is all focused on adoption and acceptance of stablecoins. Stablecoins have been growing in demand, at a very rapid pace, and banks are focusing on this. Banks are, really kind of seeing this. And we actually see down here, establishing a regulatory environment for stablecoins used as a payment simultaneously creates a basis to enable market entry to support innovation while ensuring that appropriate regulatory standards apply for the benefit of customers, market integrity, and stability. Again, it's all about regulations. Regulations are going to really spark the movement on massive amounts of money flowing in. We're talking about like trillions of dollars. But this is really kind of, I would say that when we're talking about this, it really kind of brings me to one thing. And that is this overall document from Hedera. This is their stablecoin settlement document. Real-time intercontinental settlement using stablecoins. Cross-border transactions can take days to settle. To expedite this process and its efficiency, Shinhan Bank, the leading bank in South Korea, and Standard Bank, the largest bank in Africa, have united in a proof of concept on Hedera. In doing so, the trial looked to reduce the reliance on middlemen, associated cost, and settlement time in the currently $702 billion remittance market. In this talk, the two Hedera governing council members will showcase challenges with legacy cross-border payment system SWIFT, proposed stablecoin solution on Hedera, a live demonstration of the settlement process as well. Now, we actually seen this live. We've seen a lot of things happen within this, but I really want to focus on, of course, this new financial system that is being built essentially. So I've been addressing this with, XRP. I've talked to you guys about this new payment system that is pretty much being trialed right now. And the focus point isn't the idea on replacing SWIFT. It's just having something that is far more efficient. Obviously, when we were talking about SWIFT and we're talking about digital payments, could they, basically be built within the SWIFT network to actually improve the efficiency of SWIFT? 100%. And Ripple actually already said this themselves. But realistically speaking, when we're talking about digital payments and digital money, stablecoins, and settlement in general as well, like the main focus here isn't the idea on, hey, can we replace SWIFT? No, it's the idea on, can we make these cross-border transactions in general a lot faster to settle? Can we make them more liquid? And also, can we make them more cost-effective for the remittance market when we are talking about, remittance payments for like, families in third world countries and stuff like that, don't have a lot of money but do want to send money to friends and family. That is the big pain point. That's also where we also see financial inclusion being a big point. But when we are talking about, stablecoins as well, we have been seeing a lot of stablecoin talks on, Hedera themselves. Going back as far as like 2019, here we have Carbon launches the first stablecoin on Hedera network. Now, again, you got to realize that this is all, focused on, of course, stablecoins in terms of the use of real finance. We're talking about low fees, widespread support, things like that. And of course, here's the Hedera network advantages. Now, again, this is 2019, so this is an older document, but we do see, faster, cheaper transactions, stability as well. And now we do know that, Hedera is extremely secure, so security is also a big thing. We talk more so about, not only that, but transparency as well. Like, this is very key and crucial for the acceptance and adoption of stablecoins. But we also see, again, here we believe Fiber's payment rails and overall user experience coupled with CUSD on the Hedera platform, which enables settlement in seconds with micro-cent transaction fees, even when sending the stablecoins across borders and to unbanked recipients, will make applications that leverage these features very intuitive for mainstream users. When we're talking about stablecoin adoption, this is the reason why stablecoin adoption is happening. Because not only has the market grown astronomically to the point where it is to the point where you cannot ignore it, it's also the efficiencies being, accepted and, realized. We actually seen ONZ or ANZ or ANZ. I know that a lot of people were talking to me and saying, hey, you're messing it up. That's not how you talk. That's not how you say it. I do apologize if I'm butchering it, but it becomes the first Australian bank to mint stablecoin. Now, I talked about this, right? And when we're talking about this, I think that this is something pretty significant. I mean, of course, who knows what platform they're going to choose. It doesn't matter what platform they choose. At the end of the day, this is all good for crypto adoption, especially on not only a retail demand area, but it's in an institutional area as well. And when we are talking about stablecoins, the efficiencies of them are being, realized. But while stablecoins are being realized in terms of their efficiencies, what do you think is going to be the next thing that does get, realized in terms of efficiencies? DLT technology. And we also seen BNY Mellon chosen, as a custodian for Circle stablecoin reserves. I just talked about this in my Ripple video from the other day. This is, a massive name in the space. I mean, this has, a huge, overall legitimacy factor to it as well in terms of utilizing a stablecoin. We do see here we are at the part or a point in our evolution of our industry where the digitization of assets is presenting new and exciting opportunities to a broad range of market participants. And, again, the Boston-based company in February said it was valued at $9 billion under, new deal terms with Concord Acquisition Corp. And again, when we're talking about these massive companies moving in, I want you to realize that these are institutional investors. Okay, we are seeing major shifts happening within crypto. It's going to start with things like stablecoins, then it's going to move to NFTs, then it's going to move to DeFi, then it's going to move to this. Like, we've been seeing so many areas within crypto being focused on, and I'm just so excited to see this continue to grow at a rapid pace. All right, and again, when we're talking about DeFi, we see the Fed, Bank of England, lead charge for global DeFi regulations. Again, England is really focusing on this. Between the UK and between Australia as well, like, they have been moving rapidly on acceptance and adoption of crypto, but they are, of course, focused on regulations because, before they do go mainstream adoption on crypto, they do want regulations. And we do see here, DeFi also poses specific and unique risk and challenges for regulators to consider. There is no generally accepted definition of DeFi or what makes a product, service, arrangement, or activity decentralized. And again, growing pressure. You guys can read all about this if you want. But realistically speaking, it's all focused on, of course, controlling this market in a sort of way where, innovation is not stifled. But it's also the idea that they do want to regulate this area because it is getting so massive. But over-regulation definitely could kill this market. And I will say this, like when we're talking about over-regulation and stuff like that, I think that most things when we are addressing, regulations, a lot of things should be kind of kept to the point where they are now and not really focused on in terms of regulations. But I do kind of accept the idea on some regulations being put in place for mainstream adoption to actually happen, specifically within the institutional and banking area, because obviously banks do want a part of this market. I mean, it's a massive market and it's moving rapidly day by day. But I do believe that Hedera definitely will play a key, crucial, pivotal role within DeFi and also stablecoin adoption. I think that MTech should be an area of focus from anyone that is holding, HBAR. After raising $4 million, MTech supports central banks across Africa, Caribbean to deploy, regulatory sandboxes. And again, they have been a leading name within the idea on, the U.S. digital dollar. They've been, making these digital regulatory platforms, which are really kind of focused on regulations in general. I do think that MTech should definitely be a focus area. I think that when we're talking about the financial infrastructure, modernizing it, having these CBDCs put in place, I think that MTech is leading the race here. And they do see here by the end of the year, MTech plans to be working with at least 10 central banks. Again, it also plans to introduce its first version of a central bank digital currency platform for regulators, tapping the growing digital currency wave. And again, we've taken a really strong partnership with a digital ledger technology company called Hedera Hashgraph. Now, I already talked about this in the past, but the reason why I say it now again is because everything is talking about regulations within CBDCs, within stablecoins, within DeFi, and here you have a company, MTech, that is building out digital regulatory frameworks for these major, names to be utilizing them to actually accept and utilize crypto in general. This is extremely bullish. I mean, I know that price action on HBAR hasn't been incredible, but you got to see what they are building out here. This is extremely huge, okay? And when we're talking about MTech, they actually just posted this. MTech is about continuously moving forward and having conversations to learn and grow to discover what the financial ecosystem needs. We are listening and building for it. Again, they are building essentially the future frameworks of CBDCs. They're building, out these major, I would say standards within, the CBDC area within fintech and crypto. And I'm very excited to see MTech continue to build and grow. I think that MTech is a leading name within the Hedera ecosystem that everyone should be watching closely. And of course, to wrap this video up, I do hope that you all enjoyed this video. If you guys did, definitely leave a like, subscribe to notifications on if you guys want more free content. You guys are more than welcome to follow me on Twitter and join the free Discord down in the description below. If you guys do want my trading indicator, stuff like that, go to NCashOfficial.com. The best deal for your buck is the Ultimate Crusader Trading Bundle Pack, as always, because it does include everything on the website, as well as all future content for free. So with that being said, I hope that you all have a beautiful day or a beautiful night wherever you guys are in this beautiful world. This has been Nick. Peace out, guys.